When you are exploring a religion that's different from what you grew up with, of course your family is probably going to have questions at some point. I think especially when it comes to Islam, if that's the religion that you're exploring, for reverts it can be very difficult with their families, especially if they're from the West, where let's just say we're programmed to view Islam and Muslims a certain way in general. And I think a lot of people might keep their religious journey private from their family if they can, but it's different when it starts coming to holidays, especially if you are a woman and you want to start wearing the hijab, if you're praying, your life is going to start looking different, and that at some point will become noticeable to your family. There are a lot of reverts online that I see struggle with this with their family because they feel like their family doesn't understand and they're not accepting. And usually them not accepting that out of, if it's, your brothers or your sister or your mom or your dad, it's because they just don't have the awareness and the understanding of what Islam actually is. And they're seeing the world through their lens, But for me, I didn't just come out to my family being like, I am Muslim now. I'm very much exploring Islam, and rather than talking about like, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that, I've just talked to my family naturally about like, hey, I learned this about Islam. Isn't that really interesting? A small example of this would be I don't eat pork anymore. And instead of just saying I don't eat pork because I'm like on the path to becoming a revert, I tell them why about the pork, because there's a reason for like everything, right? So I find it's really helpful sometimes if you're struggling, while you should just be able to come out and say like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm exploring, this is what I'm embracing, like this is who I'm becoming. It's not always that easy. So I would recommend, at least this is what I've found, is that if you have a family who is exceptionally resistant to Islam, just start by like educating them about different things about Islam, if they're open to it, like in basic conversation. Because for me, I know at least in my immediate family, I'm the only one who's ever been to a Muslim majority country. I'm probably the most experienced when it comes to exposure to Muslims and Islam. And naturally, a lot of people, at least in America, have fear around Islam and Muslims. And again, in no way do I think people should have to tiptoe or like walk on eggshells when it comes to telling their family about their religious beliefs. But I think sometimes it is easier to like warm the waters with educating and just talking about Islam and sharing your interest and all of that in it if you feel like you're really struggling. That could help. Or some people are just very resistant and like they hear Islam and their brain shuts off, But for me, it's been quite gradual. It's been quite soft. My family has been accepting, at least toward me. I don't know if they have like personal thoughts of their own, but I haven't really, I'm not wearing a hijab or any of that. So I think as you go along in your journey, your family might have different reactions to things, and that's quite normal. But it does make me sad to see some reverts feel like they're isolated from their family because of their, religious beliefs and choices. And all we can do is pray to Allah and ask for our family to be open and accepting, and that their hearts will open to even just the idea of Islam.